Hello, Wissam. How are you today?
Hi, Jad. Good. How are you too?
Excellent, excellent. Wissam, in this session, we're going to talk about ExPro, the decision making tool. This is a tool, we will discuss it in more details, but this is a very essential tool for people who are aiming to make objective assessments and decision making. And as we know, and we will see, this is one of the most important problems that came and we see in the market, that people usually tend to make traditional approaches for decision making, which is either autocratic, which is nice, it's fast, but usually they face resistance from the team and the other related stakeholders, or they go into brainstorming, so they engage everyone, but it is very time consuming and it could be biased. And the consultative approach, which is they go to an expert, but it costs them sometimes time, money, and it could be also biased depending on the background of each and every expert. So this tool, the ExPro, combines this inclusivity and the precision to make sure that we are really quantifying every decision and making it more objective and more visual so that people can decide faster. So before we dig deeper, can you tell me a little bit more about technically why ExPro in your opinion, like from your perspective as Pro-P group, why
Yeah.
do you see it important?
Because ExPro is an intelligent tool. It allows managers to evaluate their employees and let them take a good decisions and in a short time.
Excellent, excellent. Perfect. So, and this tool was developed between Pro-P and Expand, which is very interesting combination because Pro-P, Wissam will brief us in a while about the company, is coming from a technical and IT background. And at the same time, it's a combination with Expand strategy, which is coming from management and consulting background. And we saw how we can make this venture to be able to make a tool that makes sense not only from an IT or not only from a management perspective, but from a combination that really makes sense to every decision maker so that they can make faster decision in a more objective way. Can you tell us a little bit more about Pro-P?
Yes, Propi is an IT consulting company, and it's specialized in digital transformation and the process optimization.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Of course, for more details, you can check the website pro-p-group.com.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
find all the information there. In a very brief summary, Expand is a strategy execution firm. We've been in the market for more than 20 years, and we support companies from a strategy perspective and also to have the tools to monitor that strategy. So whether we are improving the strategy or the business development, we make sure that we connect them with tools so that the companies will be able to monitor those dashboards. And this is where we connect a lot with Pro-P to find these solutions together. Of course, for more information, you can find them at expandstrategy.com and you can check more information. So this was the birth of ExPro, which is this combination. And if we want to summarize it in a few technical functionalities, what would you say? What does ExPro do in this regard?
Here we resume it in six main functionalities: objective, fast data collection, and anonymous data. Graphical results, easy to read, track employees' submissions, so you can know who submitted and who didn't, but you can't even know what each person has submitted, and it's available on all devices, and it's user-friendly on all devices.
Perfect, perfect. And this is a very important point that you mentioned, Wissam, because most of the times when we are doing assessments, people tell us, I don't like to assess because I will be judged based on what I filled as information. However, this is very important that we will be able in the system to know if the person filled or not. but we will never be able technically if what they filled
Exactly.
information.
Exactly.
And of course,
You don't know.
sure. It says I'm anonymous. And of course, for those who are more tech oriented, we are more than pleased to have a one-to-one demo session with you and show you that technically there is no way to be able to know what every person filled unless you decide to make it so. So this is a very important point to keep in mind. Now, inside ExPro, there are three major things. So, and this is very important for medium to large companies. Of course, for small companies, they don't need to install the software at their premises, so they can ask us for the assessment, and we send them the URL, they do the assessment, and so on and so forth. But for bigger companies where assessment is a costly part and they need more assessment tools, so every company, for example, can create the company name, especially if it's, for example, a holding company, so they can create multiple companies under the company. They can create multiple assessments under each company, and we will see in a second what are the types of assessments. And of course, we can generate reports coming from those assessments. My question to you, Wissam, the reports, are they standard reports, or the person can customize their own reports as well?
Each company can create its own reports from scratch. They are fully customizable.
And if I create, for example, let's say I do a team assessment and I generate a certain report. Later on, I want to generate another type of a report from the same assessment. Can I still do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So we make the assessment once, for example, for that particular date, and then we can generate multiple types of reports depending on the need we are using it.
Yeah, and even you can create the assessment once, and for example, you will assign it yearly.
Excellent.
So you have this report that you created to extract some necessary data from assessments. In that case, each year you can run the report. You just change the from and to date.
Very good. So, for example, if we are doing a financial assessment, so we can every year have the same financial assessment 1 year after another to make a comparative report and see where we are doing well. Where
you don't need to construct a new assessment and a new report. Just assign the assessment again and extract the report again.
Excellent. Very good. Now, of course, inside the system, so people can create the assessment either for employees or maybe sometimes for clients, for recruits. It depends. But most commonly, I think the biggest bulk is usually with employees. So what about, for example, companies who have multiple or a big number of employees? Can they, for example, is there a way to connect with their software or to add them in bulk instead of going one by one?
Yes. First of all, we have a bulk feature embedded inside the application. So you can upload your own employee Excel sheet, and you can then assign the employees. So you assign the columns. So to match the needed data, and also we can link this platform to a certain database somewhere placed, for example, in AWS or Azure or on a server.
Very good. Excellent. And can we split the departments inside? For example, I want to assess this time only the sales department, the business development department, etc.
Yes, of course. When assigning, you can just select a specific department or all the employees.
Excellent. So, of course, inside the system, we have two important pillars. One of them is the predefined assessments. So this is where we've done a good part of the work for you in terms of you choose a predefined assessment, Okay, so we're talking about, for example, the SWOT analysis, we're talking about financial analysis, we're talking about competition assessment, or different types of assessments that are commonly or frequently used by companies. And the good thing about it is when you open the assessment, so you will see the standard criteria automatically there. But of course, you can decide to just edit, remove, add questions, but it will facilitate your life to be able to start somewhere. Especially, for example, if you are recruiting a person, so you can open the recruitment assessment. So it opens the predefined questions, but you might change it depending on the job position you are doing. Can you tell us more about the from scratch? What does it mean?
The from scratch is an assessment that is built from a new one, a blank assessment, and the user start to add the criterias. It's fully customizable and it's more flexible than the predefined. Also here, we can say that inside the predefined assessment, when choosing predefined assessment, user can also add, edit, delete, or customize any criteria there. So predefined assessment is like a template, if you want.
Wonderful, wonderful. So imagine, for those who are watching this video, imagine if you want to make any decision measurable. So maybe you want to move your business to a new country, or you want to choose a new location as a branch, or maybe you want to sell your franchise and you are comparing between different potential franchisees. So any kind of decision. So we create it from scratch. So we define the name of the decision, we create the criteria, and then you send it to the people who are concerned, so which are mainly the decision makers who are related to this particular decision, and then they will send their criteria. And here I have a question for you, Wissam. What if, for example, one criteria is more important than another? Can we add a weight or something like this?
Yeah, we have a weight feature inside the assessment. So you can put it. The weight is you can put it to 0.5, 1, 2, or 3.
Excellent, excellent. So this way, we don't compare all the features in the same way. So for example, the price of that location can be important, but maybe if there is a parking spot, it's even more important. So this way, we can make sure we are assessing very objectively. I will go very quickly on the shape of the assessment. So this is how it looks like on the creation of the assessment. So, and we can be doing everything from scratch. Of course, definitely there will be the banner, the instructions, the predefined types. So as we said, we can do it for recruitment, for finance, competition, SWOT analysis, wheel of business, team assessment, which is the most frequently demanded one. And of course, sometimes with the same assessment, as we were discussing before, we can use it for different purposes. So I can use the team assessment for training purposes. I can use it for setting the right compensation and benefits, or I can use it to decide on if this person or who is eligible for a certain new role, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
so,
and also we can set new predefined types as per each company or group. It's up on their demands.
Perfect. And a quick question here. What about numeric versus non-numeric? So for example, if we have numeric, it will create based on our needs total.
It's an indicator. Here, the numeric, it's an indicator to indicate just the criteria if it's a numeric type or no, because numeric types can be used in calculations and in the charts.
Very good. And for the non-numeric, so everything that is a text-based, so it will just list them in the right place, in the right order. Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. So this is, for example, questions, predefined questions. For example, in this case, we are talking about, for example, the name, which is a text, date, which is a date, gender, it's a drop down between male, female, and the others are a scale from 1 to 10. And of course, we can decide if it's mandatory or not. An important question, sometimes we create a certain type of a question, but we might need the same similar, for example, shape for it, but we don't want to do all the work again. So I believe this is the duplicate role, right?
Yes, exactly. You can duplicate the field.
Excellent. And so as you can see, we can drag and drop. So maybe we can say, okay, I want this question to be on top and then this one down. Maybe the CEO tells me, no, you know what, this is the most important criteria, put it on top. So we don't need to redo things. We just drag and drop and make
You
sure
can
that.
exactly.
Wonderful, wonderful. Excellent. So this is how it looks like. Okay, of course, we can change the banner as mentioned before. This is how it looks like. These are the drop-down menus. These are the scale. And again, it opens from mobile, tablet, PC, any kind of device, which is as long as it's, of course, connected to the internet. So that's the only resource that you need. Very important to mention, can you tell us more about the scheduling of the assessment?
Scheduling assessment is when you prepare an assessment, but you don't want to assign it directly after finishing it. You can schedule to send it, for example, on the after 1 week or after 2 weeks or after 1 day or tomorrow morning. So you just choose a date and a time and confirm it. Then the email will be sent at this date time.
Very good, very good. Excellent. And of course, we can mention the due date, which is sometimes we need them to answer before a certain date. So this is important to, and afterwards it expires. So nobody else can do it. And another very important thing is we can assign within the company or even outside the company, which is like clients, suppliers, lawyer, auditor, etc. So this is a very important feature to take multiple opinions about the same decision. So in a nutshell, I would say these are the most important reports. So it's easy to read. It's customizable. We can export it to both Excel and PDF, either or.
Yes.
Very good. And of course, we can save it so we can see it later on and check. And these graphs, for example, they are predefined graphs that we choose. So I can choose a pie chart, a bar chart, or
we have till now 4 predefined charts: a radar, a pie chart, a vertical bar chart, and horizontal bar chart.
Excellent. And suppose I choose one, suppose the bar chart, and then I decide that no, I want the pie chart. I can then choose and change it.
You can choose another chart. You can delete the older one. Yes, and you can even choose multiple charts for each for each result. Yeah.
Excellent. So this is, for example, how it looks like in terms of a table and in terms of a radar. So we can automatically spot where is the problem. So in this case, the team has a high skill acquisition rate, yet a very low knowledge of the job. They are not very flexible. They are a little bit better on the relationship and so on and so forth. So we can automatically spot what is going well, what is going wrong without even reading the report. But of course, then we can dig deeper and check what is there. So what stands out with ExPro is quantifying any decision. This is something very important that sometimes decisions could take forever, or the worst type of decisions are the decisions that get never done because it's dragging and nobody is being able to make a decision. It's a scalable solution because you can definitely build on it and make faster decisions. And in today's world, it's all about making the right decisions on time. So saving money, because this tool, and this is where also I want to ask you, Wissam, so definitely for companies who have multiple types of assessments, if they install the system, it will save them money on keep paying, outsourcing for the assessment. But what if their system has some specifications or they want something more? Can they build it?
Yeah, because of scalability, this tool can be integrated with various systems. So it's flexible, and we can even add more modules upon their needs, or we can integrate it with their databases or with their systems. It's fully flexible.
Excellent, excellent. Is there any technology that it doesn't match with it, or it's open
No.
in general?
No.
Very good, very good. Of course, in the future, we can make comparative tools. We can customize even more things, do more automations, and so on. So this is a very base tool for, I would say it's the heart of the decision making, but then of course you can build on it, connect it to other apps, other software, and make it even more juicy for any decision you are making in the business. Thank you, Wissam, for the information. Of course, we are ready to get in touch to make a specific customized demo for each and every business interested. You can reach out to us. These are the contact information for myself, Jade at expandstrategies.com. Also for Michel Moros-Douaihe, the owner of Linkpact, which is the sister company of ProP. And we would be ready, of course, to jump on a call, have a live demo with you, show you more information, ask or answer more questions, and decide together if this is suitable for your business. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Wissam. And
Thanks.
Looking forward to having a one-to-one call so we can discuss further.
Yes.
See you.
See you.
Bye.